Okay, hey, there we go. Now we're live. All right, camera audio on. Sweet. Okay, YouTube is not receiving enough video, maintaining smooth streaming, buffering. Oh, that's too bad. We might get a little bit of buffering issues here. Hopefully, we'll survive. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's change the settings here. One moment, I'm going to change the settings of this stream because buffering. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If we get buffering issues, video streaming experience buffering. Okay, we're going to have to fix that. Poor streaming settings. All right, that's not good. Well, guess we'll just have to live with it. Hopefully this all works. Streaming settings are good. We're going to go into Facebook and watch me. Oh no, it's buffering. Okay. All right, we'll see how we do. And I'm listening to my own laptop here. Hopefully I've tested a couple of different settings and it's all working. But anyway, we'll change the settings next time. It's a little bit of experimentation here. But I am going to show you me working on the book, The Most Crucial Knots to Know. This is a beginner step-by-step guide, how to tie 40 plus knots for camping, survival, and preppers or prepping. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you my screen here. I'll get rid of that. And I'm actually designing my book in InDesign. InDesign is Adobe's product. You don't care anything about that. The only thing you care about are the results out of this book. And what I'm going to do is share today, tying a couple of different knots, show you what they are and the process of doing them. It's actually pretty fascinating, at least for me and hopefully for you. So when this book comes out, I'll be able to put this out there. By the way, I will put the book out. It's going to be out in February. I'm looking at my screen here. Live streaming here. Stream is healthy. Analytics. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So I have this book, if nothing else, going to come out on February 1 in ebook and print book format. That way you can actually physically check that out. And the ebook will be super handy, so people who like to have things on their iPad or even on their phone, it would be pretty darn small on your phone, but you can pinch zoom, so that's pretty good. But also the print book is the best, of course. Now, I've got my other books, like this huge pile of books here, and this is going to be part of my box set for adventure, exploration, and everything else. So that should be fun. So let's get right down to business here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run picture-in-picture. I'll switch that over and turn that on. There we go. Hopefully you can see me. Not a problem there. Good data rate and everything. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you me editing the mooring hitch. The mooring hitch is one of my favorite hitches. It is super simple to tie once you know how to tie it. And I actually brought something to show you how I'm going to tie this. And so what you simply do is the mooring hitch, you come around, you create a loop. This is the loop. And it's critical you do this the correct direction. And all you do is pull here, pull the knot like this, tighten the knot up, and voila, you have a mooring hitch that in an instant, the knot completely comes apart. So I'll show you that again. The mooring hitch, you simply create a loop, you put that over, you create a bite, you put it through and tighten this thing up. And it's basically like the two half hitches, but it works very well. I use this for tying things down in my truck. Anything where I need to pop the knot pretty quick, where it still has fair strength. This knot will slide to close completely. It is not like the Topline hitch that when you pull that sucker, it is fixed. The mooring hitch, there you go. I'll show you there. I love the mooring hitch. It is one of my favorite knots. I've used this knot for 20 plus years, so it is pretty sweet. I'm simply going to, oh dear. Let me see here. Yeah, the mooring hitch, I made it too small there, but the mooring hitch here, super, super nice hitch that allows tension, and it simply pumps there, and then when you want it to go away, voila, almost like magic, not quite like Penn and Teller or David Copperfield or whoever, but the mooring hitch is pretty sweet. All right, let me tie that just again so you have a better idea of what I'm going after here. And let me get my live stream back up so I can make sure everything is correctly working. There we go. Okay, so let's get right down to editing this bad boy. Picture-in-picture live. All right, hopefully that'll work. And now you should be able to see my screen and what I'm doing here. So one of the processes that I have to do, you see Miller knot, Marlin spike, oh yeah, is I need to collect a lot of pieces and parts to make this all work. Numbers, standing part, running end, and description. I'll scroll back down to my mooring hitch here. I'm going to place my elements in the book. Now be aware that the live stream at the half hour at 11:30 Pacific time. Was it? No, not. It's 11:30 Pacific time, 12, 1, 2, and 2:30 Eastern time. I'm going to put a link into the stream, and I'm going to put a link into the stream so you can download page 26 and 27 of the current book, because it's getting edited around. So hopefully you'll be able to actually download your own copy of one of my sample pages, and I'd like to have you check it out and see for reviews in the future. I've got a viewer, Into the Wild. Hey, the quality's amazing, by the way. Thank you so much, Into the Wild. Really appreciate your support. Let's see. Thank you very much. I'm going to type on my computer here. Thank you very much. Cool. So definitely, if I get viewers that are watching and you put a comment, I'll definitely do my best to acknowledge you. And also, I've got a couple of viewers that have sent super chats. Totally appreciate the support. There's a super chat link, I guess, in the viewer. I can't see it because I'm running the live stream. So let's get back to business here. The mooring hitch is one of my favorite knots because it is highly versatile. It is easy to tie, and it is easy to take out. So it's very useful, especially for vehicles and anything else. This is not a knot, this is a hitch, so you attach it to something. So the running end here, what I'm going to do is zoom in. And you're going to see me flipping around in InDesign. Adobe Indesign is the the product that designers use to lay out magazines and books and everything else. People do not use Microsoft Word or Publisher or whatever. InDesign is the tool to use. I happen to be a professional InDesign user, and I actually have InDesign classes that I teach in Udemy, so check out links below. I'll put that just for your convenience. Hopefully I'll remember that. Okay, we're going to make the standing part here. And sorry if I'm whipping around on the screen, but I got to work fast because I got to get this book done so I can get it out to market. This isn't quite an instructional class. This is just something to show you what it takes as I'm making this book for you. So step 1, loop the running end over a pole or around the object to be tied to. Okay, cool. All right, and then the next drawing here. Now the nice thing about InDesign is it has what's called snapping. Ooh, that's going to be kind of big. Yeah, that's okay. We'll enlarge it. We want to make the images as big as possible so it's easier for you to see what's going on. Now, we're going to create a loop. All right. I'm going to line the text up just so. It's one thing about InDesign is it snaps and locks and does pretty well, but every so often it's kind of irritating, just like every other piece of software. Got my Vizio TV actually acting a little bit funny. Whatever the latest operating system is, it stinks. I was trying to watch Mandalorian or whatever it was last night, and that didn't work too well. I had to unplug the TV, so that was irritating. Then create a loop with the running end and a loop with the running end and have the loop. How do I describe this? This is the challenge. How do you actually verbally or write the description of tying the knot? I know a picture is worth 1,000 words, but some people actually learn by the writing rather than the pictures, which is weird, but that's how it is. So I have to make sure to get these descriptions right. I'll edit them on the line, so it works pretty well. And have the loop over the running end. Perfect. Okay. And then create a bite in the running end. Running end. Let's see. Now sometimes not descriptions have to describe one picture or another. That's kind of challenging. All right. So as you can see here, this is actually me live working on this. Now, right before I was about to go live on this one, I'll tell you something in just a moment. Okay, step 3. Create a bite in the running end. Oh, let's see. Lay the loop over the standing part. That's the thing about knots. This part is the running end. This part is the standing part. Why they call it the part, not the end. There actually is a standing end, but if you say part, all the knot people are like, oh yeah, it's not right. Not right, haha. But there you go with that. So it's interesting to note. Create a bite. Lay the loop over the standing part, and then create a bite in the running end. Okay, cool. Bite in the running end. Create a loop. Okay, now we're going to do some Photoshop editing. And as I do the Photoshop editing, that will help me work on the descriptions here. So what I'm going to do is going to grab all of my images and edit original. Quality is amazing. Good. Cool. Alright, and now I need some arrows. There's my arrow. The miller's knot. That's a sweet knot too. Alrighty, layers. Cool. So I need the arrow and I need the shape. And what I'm doing is I'm duplicating this layer to the other layers. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of the masking layer. Delete shape. Okay. And now I need to draw a loop in the shape. I'm going to have to add another point here. Hang on, it loops around. It loops around. Oh. Of course, this is very fun doing this live, actually. I should have been doing this a long time ago for you folks out there. Let's see. Okay. And the whole goal is to make this so it actually looks relatively reasonable. You see this checkerboard on the background. The checkerboard means actually transparent in Photoshop. Let's see, and it's cut to loop. What does it have to loop? Under. Okay, so I have to chop off this part of the arrow here in the shape. I'm going to mask that off, but first I'm going to generate the drop shadow. The drop shadow looks like a mess here, but once it gets into InDesign, it'll actually look really, really good. And what I do is I create a layer out of that drop shadow, And then I begin the masking process. And if you know your keyboard shortcuts in Photoshop, this is a much faster job. If you do not know shortcuts in whatever software you're using, I cannot recommend shortcuts enough. Alright, in 15 minutes you will have the link to one of the sample pages in the book. Be ready for that. That will be pretty sweet. Got a couple of viewers watching right now. It's pretty fun. Alright, what we're going to do is shrink this down here. Okay. Drop this over, drop this over. There we go. And same thing here. I've been really surprised how supportive people are. Thank you very much to all my subscribers in my channel. Over 13,000 people over time are subscribed to this channel. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you feel like I'm bringing you valuable content. I want to make sure to bring the best value to you in YouTube and streaming land out there. It's a challenge to keep a YouTube channel up. I mean, the #1 job that Z-Gen kids and millennials want is to be a YouTuber, because they see all the romance, but they do not perhaps see all the work that goes into this thing. I mean, it's a lot of work. Okay. And now, voila, there we go. You can see that in InDesign, the little loop is complete. Alright. And now the next step is I'm going to take my loop and my arrow, move it to the next layer. 26. Sweet. Alright, and then I'm going to show that the loop now has to go over there by delete the mask again. And I'm probably going to need to get rid of that point here. I have to use the direct select tool, not the move tool, to make this work. There's so many different tools in Photoshop and InDesign, it's actually pretty mind-boggling. Now, I've been using Photoshop for 27, 29 years, or however long it's been since it came out. Let me tell you, I'm always still learning something new. Plus, Adobe is always adding something different, just to make it more interesting for us Photoshop and InDesign users. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. Now, let's see, I've got 1 or 2 viewers here. Alright, check this out. So this morning I need to put eye drops in because I was up late working. And then I realized as I'm digging around, and I've had this on my expeditions, have you ever noticed that the super glue bottle, a bottle of super glue, looks disturbingly similar to a bottle of eye drops? Yeah, that's right. On one expedition, I was rummaging around. My eyes were on fire from dust and whatnot, and I thought I had the clear eyes bottle, but instead I grabbed the super glue bottle and fumbling around. And go, oh my gosh! If I would have gone drip, 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 I would have pretty much blinded myself in the middle of the wilderness. That would have sucked. So something to watch out for when you're looking at the super glue bottle versus the eye drop bottle. They're disturbingly similar. So yeah, oh boy. All right, back to picture in picture. Decided to share that little tidbit. That was pretty funny. Actually, it wasn't terribly funny. It was funny because nothing happened, but yeah, it could have been less than funny, that's for sure. Okay. Alright, create a loop over and create the running in there. Now as I add these arrows, I noticed that my other arrows ended up being a little bit messy. Thus, I'm going to fix that. And that's a tough thing. Some people can't stand arrows, other people like arrows, and there you go. We'll put that on. The sample page will post at 11:30 a.m. PST and 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Oh no, Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so back to business here, running end. Okay, now one thing I did when I'm photographing this is I noticed that I left, what was it, left that? My audio's not loud enough. One moment. Let's crank that up. Crank! How about that? Is that a little bit better? Hopefully loud enough for you. It's always hard to tell when I can't listen to it myself because there's an echo. And there's an echo because I am recording it, I'm hearing my voice, and then you'll hear an echo. It's actually pretty funny because the echo starts echoing and then it just like never ends. It's really weird actually. Okay, now we're going to create a bite. Yeah. We're going to enlarge this picture because this particular design has a lot of room, which is good. Alright. And hopefully those of you who are actually out watching at work, you're not getting busted for running a YouTube live stream, so definitely don't get fired or whatever you need to do. You don't want to get in trouble at work. And I guess you can always blame me, say that it was this guy you follow on YouTube's fault. He's a crazy polar explorer and he likes to do these nutty things. Now I noticed that the running in disappears. We're going to fix that in Photoshop. Check this out. So you'll notice that lay the loop over the line and then create a bite in the running end. Okay, so if you notice here that there is no end to the running end, and I don't really like that. So what we're going to do in Photoshop is we're going to fix that problem. And what I do is I copy this image here. Now you might say, oh my gosh, that's not legit and all that, but trust me, this amount of Photoshop out there and models and everything, you want to talk about Photoshop? Holy moly. Okay, so what we're going to do is rotate this around a bit, align it up, there we go, and now you see the original, the rope just drops off here. Watch this, this is pretty slick. I need to shrink my layers panel a bit, and what we're going to do is we're going to mask off the rope that stands there, going to zoom in a lot. And then we're going to fix the layer just so it aligns just so. Ho, 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 ho. Almost perfect, baby. Yeah, now we got to do a little bit of touch up there. Alright. Now obviously this isn't enhancing the image or being disingenuous. Hopefully, I'm just simply cutting back my line because when I photographed it, I wasn't exactly sure how the design was going to come out. Alright, just a little bit more. Now you can see the scoop marks, and that is always a sign of a bad Photoshop job. Whoa! I'm going to fix that with the retouch tool. Nope, that looks terrible. No, that still looks terrible. Oh well. Oh, and there's the little hangy outie. Alright, so we're going to get rid of that. Okay. We have to mask this guy off just a bit, hopefully. And there we go. Alrighty, so this is the before. I will save this file. And this is the after. Voila! I have shortened the rope for you. Now it's a little more visually pleasing. Hopefully that's not too disingenuous, but does it really matter? No, this is not like I'm a nature photographer and trying to pretend that something happened. One of my buddies just sent me over an article about a PhD guy who was completely faking data and had faked data for years, and all these publications who were supposed to have checked this out didn't. They didn't verify, and people started digging around. This dude was completely falsifying data for years. I mean, like, oh, you know, the science, completely fake, and he's being busted for it. Well, we'll see if I can post the link to that, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. Into the Wild. Oh, here we go. Hey, Into the Wild, thank you very much. You said it's amazing to have an adventurer like you bringing his expertise on the web. Appreciate it so much. I mean, I do what I can to bring out what I can to you and folks that are watching this. That way you can have a great experience and enjoy the outdoors more, be outdoors more, and be safer out there. So that is a key thing. So we'll get back to it here. Picture in picture. Create a loop over the bite. Alrighty. Okay, so now we've fixed that image, and now we just need to add the arrow. Okay, so now this is going to be a little bit different. I want to copy the arrow. Arrow, shape, arrow, duplicate, 28. Might as well just duplicate the others, 29, and 32. Cool. Oh, 2 more minutes. I'm going to post that link so you can check out what the book interior is going to look like soon. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right. So now how do I draw that? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and illustrate me pulling over this line. Okay, an arrow. Zoom in real close. Running. Now, if you come into the live stream later, it's you'll still be able to see the link, but once the live stream is over, that link is gone. You will not be able to get it anymore. The file will disappear. So this is only for my live stream viewers. Thank you so much for watching. All right, drop shadow. Extract the shadow. There you go. Come down there. And just give you an idea of what it takes to produce these books. And give you a much better idea. Okay. And now we will update the picture. Voila, there we go. I can make that picture bigger. It is still too small. I want to make these pictures as big as possible for you. And that way when it goes to print, this is a 5.5 by 8.5 book. And you don't want small pictures. So, haha! It's 11:30. All right. Just for you guys and gals that are out there watching, I'm now going to post the link to the interior picture. Let's see if I can find it here. All right. Okay, here we go. Copying. And we'll see what happens. We're pasting. Voila. All right. So please click on that link. Please click on that link to see what the interior of the page looks like. I'll click on that on my computer and we'll blow it up. We'll talk about it for a minute. All right, let's see. Let me pull that up just so we can talk about that for a minute. Hopefully that comes up on your screen okay. We will switch over. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, this is what a layout looks like. So when you actually open the book and you crack that bad boy open, that is literally what the 2 pages are going to look like for the double overhand stopper knot. And we're going to zoom in there and check that out so you can see all the little arrows and loops, the descriptions, what the knot finally looks like, critical importance, and critical importance, and then what the knot looks like slightly loosened. So that gives you a chance to check that out and give you an idea of what that's like. So just be aware, once this live stream's over, I will delete that link. It is gone forever. Perfect. Ka-ching. All right, we will get back to, you're checking out Monoprice, Amazon, 20 Books, Vegas. Play a loop over the standing part, create a bite in the running in. Begin pulling the loop. The bite loop, bite over the loop created in the previous step. Now I don't tend to refer to step numbers because if I edit this and I put those in there, it's actually going to be very painful to fix later. So I do avoid doing that. And you think, what's the big deal? Let me tell you how many books I've seen that have been published and they refer to some drawing later and it doesn't exist. Oof. That is not pleasant. So what I'm doing is I'm just slowly tuning and tweaking this to make it as big as possible. All right, step number 4. Let's get this label in here. Step 3. Zoom in because the snagging is not working good. And then if you hold Option or Alt down and you copy across, you don't have to do cut and paste. It saves a lot of time. Let me tell you. 4. Pull the bite on the standing end under the, running end under the standing part, and then back over the loop in the, let's see, and then back over the loop created in the first steps. Okay, we'll see how that works. I might, I'm going to of course send this out to an editor so they can check it out. Into the Wild, for what it's worth, I can understand it easily, even though I'm Italian. Hey, hopefully the pictures are worth 1,000 words. Into the Wild, Italian, absolutely, but I mean your culture. I mean, you got the Romans. You've been creative and doing all that for like thousands of years. So don't diss on yourself here, man. Because even if my English doesn't quite translate to Italian, that's what the pictures are for. That was one of the #1 complaints of a lot of not books. Is, dude, at the end, at least put a real photo of the book. And a couple of my competitors, they did photos, but they didn't Photoshop out or clip out the background. So you had this knot on a gray background. It looked muddy. It was hard to see. So I've put a lot of work trying to get these photos useful for you. Hopefully it translates. So definitely appreciate that, Into the Wild. Okay. For now, I've got to make sure to get my text all lined up, because that is one problem with non-aligned text, is I'm taking a risk of things not quite working right and looking right. There we go. Good. Okay, and now we will draw the drawing. Okay, this is the most confusing part of this knot. You have to pull the bite under the standing part, but then back over the loop. So let's see if we can make that happen. Oh well. We'll see how that goes. Into the Wild. The Romans. Oh, the Alps. The Alps. The Romans. Yeah, you guys got it awesome. Unfortunately, I have not been to Italy yet, and of course, with things going on at the moment, doesn't look like I'll be visiting this year, but soon. I've done quite a bit of international travel, and I enjoy it immensely and perpetually. So hopefully I will get to Italy. Definitely stay in contact and let me know where you are. I'd love to meet for breakfast or lunch and share a drink or coffee or whatever works for you guys over there. Okay, we're going to get a shadow. Oh, did I lock that? Yeah, it's okay. I don't care. That won't wreck anything. Okay. Now, what do you think, Into the Wild, about the Roman or the Italian versus French versus Swiss Alps? Actually, are there Swiss Alps? That is a good question. Yeah, the Italian versus the French Alps. Do you have any personal preference? Of course, if you're from Italy, there's no Italy, there's Italy. I would assume you prefer the Italian Alps to the French Alps, but you tell me, why is one better than the other? That is a good question. For those of you who just joined, you can check in the chat there. You can check in the chat and you can pick up a page and tell me what you think. if it's understandable or not. Hopefully it is. Alright, I love this ATEM switcher. It actually makes me feel like a TV studio. Of course, a real TV studio would have an entire crew taking care of all these issues instead of just me doing it, but that's okay. That's, I guess, how the world works now. Not a problem there. Into the Romans, yes, definitely. Okay, there we go. And I definitely appreciate the viewers. Definitely appreciate the viewers who have given me super chats in the past. Really appreciate that. If I get a really big super chat, I'll just send you a book, complimentary signed and everything. So something to think about. I don't have memberships activated on my channel yet, but I'm definitely working towards that. YouTube hasn't let me generate memberships, but when I do that, but if you've got this big old super chat you send me, big meaning like it's got to cover the cost of the book, cover the cost of the book and the shipping and all that. I'll send you an autographed book. I don't know how to manage that yet, so you can actually prove to me who you are. Send me a direct message in YouTube. Give it a try. Yeah, worth a while. All right, back to work here. Whoa. There's one thing about this magic mouse on the Mac. It is awesome. I love it for scrolling, but man, it is sensitive. Okay, and the arrow needs a little bit of help there. Okay, I see Into the Wild. Into the Wild, you're thinking, which is better, the Italian Alps or the French Alps? Good question, good question. You would be the person to know and share that with us, so definitely check that out. And I love the interactions with oh, what the heck's going on there? Oh no, it's locked. I love the interactions. D-Link. Oh, did I just wreck? Oh, I locked it. Great. Unlink layers, yeah. Okay, so I accidentally linked the layers so I couldn't rotate the arrow. That was pretty funny. It's probably because I'm live streaming, not 100% paying attention to what I'm doing. That's part of the fun and the experience of doing this, just to give you folks out there something to laugh at, so when I make a mistake, you can get a good laugh. Oh, that looks kind of weird. The shadow is a little bit dark, but maybe it stands out. We'll leave that go. Okay, and InDesign. Woo! Now that arrow is way too big. Way too big. So, all that drop shadow fixing is not going to work. So I got to drop that down to 50 and shrink the arrow. Shoot. There's one problem when I scale these images up. It doesn't always look right. So let's save that. And also this line needs to go back further, because otherwise it disappears from the scene. And we will, number 4, we'll update that. That arrow's still that far away. Okay. We'll put it over here. Okay, now we're going to look to see what it looks like. Refresh. A little bit longer. Yeah, that's a funny thing when you're working in InDesign versus Photoshop and everything else. Can be a challenge. Can definitely be a challenge. Arrow. Now I did enable 60p, and I don't know if you're able to watch in 60p. I don't know if my ATEM Pro is doing that. My cameras definitely aren't 60p. But if you can watch it in 60p and let me know how it looks, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, especially when I go live, it's really hard for me to do that. I guess I could do an unlisted one and then mess around, see what happens. But it's much more fun to do this live, and you get to see all of my mistakes too, which is pretty interesting. Because it definitely shows me, because I teach Photoshop, I teach InDesign. I do a lot of stuff to keep this show going. Not just my YouTube channel, but the adventure life, to become a professional adventurer and actually make money doing this. That is what a professional adventurer is. Adventurer is you actually make money And this is my 9 to 5. It's more like 7 to 9, but yeah, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., but whatever. Don't worry about that. So this is just kind of fun to see, share my mistakes, share my struggles, and go out and see what's going on. Yeah, having the mistakes, I've got quite a few viewers now. So making the mistakes, that is the fun part, because as I'm blundering along here and, oh shoot, that didn't work right, I'm just sharing my experience of, well, sometimes it just doesn't work right. Like when I was talking earlier about, notice the super glue bottle looks very similar to the eye drop bottle, and you're bleary-eyed and you're out in the wilderness, it's snowing, like, oh, I need to get this in my eyeballs. Oh yeah, that looks fine. And I was on Denali. I need super glue my fingers and I had to do some repairs. I opened the bottle and I'd gotten it up to 14 or 15,000 or 14,000 feet, and the bottle was closed last at sea level. I opened that up, blorp, and it sprayed super glue all over my Arc'teryx shell pants. You know, like $500+ pants. Thank goodness I didn't open that here. Oh, so I learned that was a valuable lesson. You open that thing just like handling firearms. Keep that thing away from you. The super glue bottle raised to 15,000 feet is dangerous. Yeah, that was entertaining. Boy, oh boy. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pull the butt on the running end. Loop static. Okay. And that looks pretty good. And then back over the created loop. Okay. And now, whoops. Let's see, where are we? Okay, and then the arrow. Now I need to change the color of the arrow to AA2B73 hexadecimal code. By the way, I did 20 years of engineering. I'm actually a computational scientist and an engineer, so if you wonder how I'm doing all these things, I've actually got a lot of tech in my head. I don't know that's all that useful to me, but it certainly gave me an excellent career that I thoroughly enjoyed for the years that I did it. I don't think I'm ever going to go back, but you never know. Alright, so tighten that there and give the stroke color purple. Change the arrow color to purple, or whatever that purple color is. No drop shadow on the purples. Alright. Let's see, yeah, I've got enough space on there. Good. Okay, so pull through, pull down, duplicate this, Command J. Super fast rather than copying and pasting. Woo, and then mousing around. Do not want to mouse around. Now, hey, by the way, my video on how to cut synthetic cord, I think it's posting. Let me check this out real quick. Let me look. Where is it? Schedule. Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. So I'm gonna pull up my YouTube studio here. Hang on. And I've got a video coming out. When is it going to schedule here? Okay, at noon, my video on how to cut synthetic rope is going to post. So you can check that out in my regular channel, or regular part of videos, not the streaming portion. And you can see how I cut synthetic rope. So when you need to cut rope, you don't want to use a knife because synthetic rope just frays into a mess. I show you exactly how to cut rope to get professional results, just like in the retail store. That's pretty fun. Okay, make sure those arrows and lines don't look too weird. And that's the thing about Photoshop. There is the direct select mode, there is the select mode, and never the twain shall meet because they are different modes. Let's go back to here. Yeah, the direct select versus the move tool. Direct select and move are very, very different. And that's how they act. Oh, yes, that looks good. Okay. Now I'm going to enlarge this as large as I can. Okay. Now if you hold Shift, Option, and Command down all simultaneously, the picture will scale up from the center. And then I can just mask it down. If you have a PC, that'd be Shift Alt Control. And that's pretty sweet there. Okay. Oh yeah. Getting there, getting there. Hopefully I'll be done within the hour. So that way you can see the finished result. It is a lot of work, as you can see, to generate these pictures. And I tried to do the knots both as fully tightened and then also as loose, because seeing it loose is easier, but a fully tightened knot I think is important because you can actually see what the knot looks like when it's all tightened up. All right, hey, Into the Wild, I don't know if you're watching, but we're still waiting on that answer of are the French Alps better or the Italian Alps better? All right, hopefully we'll get an answer from Into the Wild there. Pretty cool. Okay, beautiful. All right, now these need to move back down. All right. Well, and I guess I should put a link to my book. Oh, it's in the description. If you check out the description of this video, there is a link, a pre-order link to my book, The Most Crucial Knots to Know, so you can check that out. Right now the link is on Kindle. I will have, getting the pre-order link out on the print is a little bit more problematic. I'll figure that out for you. Okay. There we go. Okay, where to use? Okay, let's see. Quick release under tension. Easy to tie in difficult conditions. Let's see. Strong. Yeah, this thing is very strong. That's why I use it. I'm trying to think of the right words here. Quick release under tension, strong, and versatile. Yeah. Yeah, this is the Mooring Hitch is one of my most favorite knots. I love the Mooring Hitch. Okay. Oh. There we go. Step number 5. Oops, I don't have enough room there. Okay, and when you tighten a knot, that's actually called dressing. Yes, yeah, literally dressing the knot. Okay, step 5. Dress the knot by pulling on the standing part while holding the running end bite. Continue snugging the lines until, until the knot is tight. Now that's the one thing about Mooring Hitch is it does not hold its position compared to, I'll show you this, the Mooring Hitch does not hold its position, so if I start pulling on it, it will start sliding. Let me switch over here. The Mooring Hitch definitely will slide. It is not a compare that to the Topline Hitch, which is also in this book. Let me tie the Topline Hitch real quick. Compare that. I need more line. Now it's a thicker cord. It's a bit of a challenge also because the Topline Hitch is not great in 6 and 7 millimeter stiff accessory cord at all. It's actually much better for thinner cord, ironically. But you can use it just for anything, but I found over the years that it is not as good with the thicker cord. Now this one takes a lot to pull. So if I was on thinner cord, I would not be able to pull that at all. It takes a lot of effort to break that. And because you can see that the knot in thicker cord doesn't keep its shape very well. And thin cord like guy lines for tints, compare that to the Mooring Hitch here. Now granted it's a different rope, but it's similar. Yeah, there you go. Woo! That was funny. Yeah, see how it just slowly slides down. So the Mooring Hitch really ends up stopping against something and you just pop it out there. Super, super handy. Do not confuse the Mooring Hitch and the Topline Hitch. Right, okay, so the Mooring Hitch is best used when tying to something that needs to be easily released with sufficiently long loop and tail and stable. This knot will not hold its position on if enough tension is applied to the standing part. If a position is important, use the taut line. Ooh, gotta capitalize it. Taut line hitch with a quick release loop. Taut line hitch. This knot combine. Combine or combined? Combine with the two half hitches on the other end of the rope is an excellent choice for tying down light loads. So this is a light load knot, but a mooring hitch. Say a mooring hitch is also super valuable for boating. This knot is also used for boating when a strong connection is required. Light to medium loads while still allowing for rapid release. Okay, alright, so there's that. Strong, versatile. Okay, let's see what we got. Alrighty, folks. So we've got, oh, the 5 doesn't look good. The 5's ugly. There, we need to make that a lot nicer. Well, we got 4 or 5 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much for watching. Check out the link. Oh, wait a minute. Into the Wild has an answer. There are Italian, French, Swiss, and Austrian Alps. They're so various that even driving 2 kilometers away from a spot, you find different rocks. So thank you very much, Into the Wild. Actually, Into the Wild retracted a message, but just driving around in the Alps, apparently just a few kilometers, you can change the view. So definitely check out Into the Wild's channel and media. Got some pretty cool info there, so thank you very much for the wisdom, Into the Wild there. Appreciate it. Alrighty, very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Thank you for that. Thank you for the insight. I can't wait to visit. Yeah, definitely want to go visit there and do some climbing. Heck yeah, address the knot. Okay, so that 5 is fine. What other ugly things are not good? Yeah, need to space this out a bit. There's plenty of space. I do not want to cram it up. Okay. Snap, snap, snap. Okay, there we go. And then clear this space, drop it down. Okay. Now the text is a little bit too close there to the drawing, so I'll pull it down just a bit. There we go. Whoa! Text is way too close here. Alright, so I will bring that up. There and there. We're going to pull those down. The text alignment isn't perfect. We will re-perfect it. There's something about the 5.5 and 8.5 layout that just, oh geez, what a mess. That doesn't seem to work as well with text or box alignment compared to the 6x9 books. I don't know why. I just didn't want this book to be as big as a 6x9. Alright, 4 byte. Okay. The Mooring Hitch! Love the Mooring Hitch. Hopefully this has been pretty illustrative. What time is it? 11. Yeah, good. Well, so we've got an hour stream on here. The Mooring Hitch is a super useful knot. It's very easy to tie, like super easy if the conditions are rough or difficult and it's cold, and it is so easy to loop out. So again, I'm going to post videos on all this, so once I get the book done, I will generate the videos to go as a compendium or companion with the book. So it's a little hard to do in live stream tying, but you simply create this lower loop, and it has to go under, otherwise it won't work. You bring the standing part here, then you bring, all right, so it's loop, loop, loop. This takes a little bit of practice to learn. Then you put this part of the running end through the knot, and of course the lighting isn't good in here either, it's studio lighting. And all I do is snug it up, and there you go. So if I pull on it really hard, let's say that's probably about 50, 60 pounds of force, no problem. And then it slides back easily. And let's see if I can pull it under tension without hitting the camera, hitting myself in the face. Let's see, come on. There we go. So even under load, this knot will still pop off and loosen up. I usually never do it that tight, but just under a medium load. Pull this guy down, line this guy back up, tighten it up, and then there you go. It hits you in the face just like that. So hopefully this has been enjoyable for you. Thank you very much for watching. You just learned how to do the Mooring Hitch and see what that looks like in live time and doing that. I've got a lot of other books to check out. I'm going to do box sets with this book, Adventure Expedition 1, and where the heck is it? Oh, I just set it down in the wrong place. Oh, and How to Keep Your Feet Warm in the Cold. So there will be a box set coming up of this new book, The Most Crucial Knots to Know, Adventure Expedition 1, and How to Keep Your Feet Warm in the Cold. That will be available in the Apple Store? No, in the on Amazon. It might be on the Apple Store too. But these two plus, where are we? Here. So if I can show you what it will hopefully finally look like. Just hang on there. See if I can log in on my iPad. Finally find the picture. Where the heck the picture is? Cool. Yeah, so this will be a box set of Adventure Expedition 1, How to Do in Expeditions, How to Keep Your Feet Warm in the Cold, and The Most Crucial Knots to Know. Good times! And also, please check out my other books, Antarctic Tears. See what it's like to truly solo to the South Pole. This is an honest account. I talk about everything that happens in here. Other explorers in recent times have gotten busted for not being truthful. I'm very truthful in here. People kind of made fun of me on my expedition because I got sick, things went wrong, but you get the unvarnished truth in here. I also give you the unvarnished truth of what it's like to climb on Denali by yourself. Pretty fun. If you like to go hiking in Grand Teton near Jackson Hole or in Driggs Victor, Jackson Hole Hiking Guide. And also in 2024, April 8th, the total eclipse will be happening. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you all out there. And thank you very much. And check out the next live stream when I kick it up. Check out the link. And also the new video on how to cut synthetic line is now available on my YouTube channel. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Please like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and we're out.